some of the top administration does not have body cameras because the majority of our managerial duties are in the building. But the frontline staff, so all of the patrol services and investigation services, and then the immediate supervisors in the jail all have body cameras. And then our jail obviously has internal cameras that would cover pretty much 360 degrees of the jail at all times anyway. So we went through kind of a crash course, but we're going to go through a more detailed training on, how to use the camera. One of the things that we had to implement and ensure that we do properly when we roll them out is the retention period. So a lot of people think of a camera as you got an on button, you got an off button. That's true, right? You got a record button, you got a stop record button, which is true. So obviously that doesn't take a lot of training. What takes a lot of training is ensuring that when they conduct a traffic stop, that they code it appropriately so the retention period is saved appropriately. When they have a criminal matter, they code it appropriately and it is stored appropriately. And we have internal checks and balances through our management team to ensure that we're retaining the things that we need to retain for the time frames that we need to retain them.
So how's the staff doing with the training so far?
Good. Some of them are starting to wear them already, so they're not required to, but they're allowed to. And some of the staff have been wearing them and they enjoy them. They're really appreciative of them. They find them kind of user friendly. As some of them are using them, we find quirks and bugs that we have to work out between IT. It's any implementation of a technological advice or device. So they like them. They're happy that we have them. I'm glad that we have them. I'm actually grateful that we have them. Yeah.
All right, so let's walk through the logistics. Where does it go on your uniform?
So there's a few different ways that they can wear it. This is a simple MOLLE clip. So if you see on here, a lot of those folks, I just got a new vest, right? But those folks have like a MOLLE tab sewn on here. So it clips on, clips over, loops into there, and then this would drop into there. And then they kind of auto-focus a little bit. And then we also have an app with our work phones that we can adjust the focus on them. So if they're in the same area, right, and if I'm 6 foot tall versus 5 foot tall, my focal plane's obviously a little different. So
do they turn them on and off, or is there like an automated process? Or
so when they're on, when the camera is on, it always is recording. It's stored on a loop, and when they activate the camera, there's a few different ways that the camera will activate. And I can't share all of our trade secrets, right? But there's a few different ways that the camera will activate. When the camera activates, it'll store, it'll timestamp it, and it'll save it. So it's kind of always on, but it'll save a recording. So if you generate a recording by turning it on, like now, see the green lights on?
Yeah.
It's recording the visual, right? And if I were to turn it on and create an event, then it would create an event and it would store. Then it automatically, when we download it in the dock station, it'll automatically download that into our cloud.
Okay. So it is audio and video, though, right?
Yep,
Okay.
it does audio and video.
Gotcha.